just in case, you know. Sure. Good, thank you. So this one's called Love Language. I love my mom, and I'm just now getting back to speaking the same language as she does. We have a typical parent-child relationship, with me more the parent or more the child. It didn't always used to be that way. Growing up, my mom knew there was something special in me. She was a nurse, she knew there was something special in me. She told me, what was the term she used? ADHD. She said, right. She said I had so many questions, even coming out the womb, just came out and started asking, "You the doctor?
Yeah.
Is this placenta? Why was I here for 9 months?" She started asking a bunch of questions. So my mom knew my mind was different, and she began to cultivate that. She also worked, she did some volunteer work in the GED program, getting people who dropped out to get their GED. And she would bring these books home, these math books home, and we'd go over them. So the summer of kindergarten going into first grade, we did addition and subtraction before they were even doing the class. She opened up this book, it was like 10 pages long, and she did the first page with me. She's like, "Okay, so if you have 2 marbles, and I give you 1, 2, 3 marbles, how many marbles do you have?" I'm like, 5 marbles. She's like, "Yeah." And we did that for the whole first page. And then she just turned the reins over to me. She hands me the book, and 20 minutes later, I hand her the book back, and she is kind of astonished. So she steps it up another notch. We would go to the store, and we'd play this like human calculator game. So we'd go to the store, and the cashier would be scanning the groceries. Boop, boop, boop. And then my mom would start bragging like, "Oh, he's gonna be able to tell you how much change before you can ring this up." And the cashier's like, "This little 6-year-old kid? Yeah, right. Boop, boop. Okay, so that'll be $69.51. And my mom would hand her the money and be like, "Okay, out of 80? And I'd be so excited. I'd be like, okay. $10.51. And the cashier would like look at him astonished, like, "Wow." And my mom's like, "Yeah." You can see like tears coming out of my mouth. That's awesome. So my mom's ability to translate my mind and have the world understand me made her like a superhero to me. And every superhero has their kryptonite, right? So in 6th or 7th grade, 6th and 7th grade, my grandparents passed away. And I get it, that's a fact of life, it happens. So I lost my grandparents, but my mom lost her stability. Her kryptonite began kicking in, and her words were slurring, and we just weren't speaking the same language. I couldn't understand the language she was speaking. So in high school, we became more like roommates. I remember I came in one day and I tried to use the phone, and you get that message, "Woo, woo, woo, you didn't pay your bill. Phone's not on." I was like, it's kind of a rude operator. So I put the phone down and I walked over to the refrigerator, opened the refrigerator up, looked in there, it's like 2 pieces of Kraft cheese, a half gallon of 2% milk, and a half loaf of wheat bread. Mom comes out of her bedroom. I said, "Mom," I was really mad about the phone. "Mom, why is the phone always off? And why can't we have more food in the house?" And my mom looked at me. "If you want special food and a phone, you need to get a job." I thought to myself, that's kind of a weird thing to say to like a 13, 14-year-old. But it actually was amazing. The results were amazing. I ended up doing odd jobs, and then I became a cashier, and then finally I got my dream job, which was working at a pizza shop. And I had the same conversation with the manager pretty much every day. Right? Like, Erik Diggs, this pizza, it's supposed to be ham and pepperoni. You made it sausage and mushroom. You know what? Just take it. I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta take the pizza home. Hey mom, guess what we're eating? Sausage and mushroom, it's your favorite, I know. So, towards the end of my senior year, I had a few months left. And I said, Mom, you know, I'm already going to a community college. I just need a few more months, so can I just stay here this summer and I will get a car, because I don't have one. I will be able to save up some money so I can, you know, pay rent. And she looked at me and she said, if you do, you'll be paying rent. And I thought, paying rent to sleep on a couch in a one-bedroom apartment? Nah, that's not for me. So it was actually good. So 3 weeks after I graduated, I moved out. And it was better. Our relationship continued to transition from roommates to kind of parent-child-ish. I would come and I would see my mom, and the phone would be off. And I'm like, Mom, you know, do you need some help? And I was like, what did you do with the phone money? And she's like, I got these gifts for the grandkids. And I'm like, you don't want like the phone on, and you know, make sure your electricity's good and all this kind of thing. She's like, I got you something too. I got you a spatula, an Ohio State spatula, because you're gonna go to Ohio State. I'm like, cool. But I already have a spatula at my house, so thank you. Let me help you get the phone on. But we kept having to do that. Every time I would see her, she would always be giving me something. You know, she'd give me plastic Ohio State plates, and I have a stack of plates already. Thank you, Mom. But I already have a stack of plates. So I read this book. I was having trouble understanding my mom, just how she was. I had a friend recommend this book. It's called 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Amazing book. Simply put, there's 5 different languages that we all speak, right? There's certain languages that you want to receive, and there's a language that you give. So I'm reading through the book, skimming over certain parts, physical touch. I'm like, oh yeah, I know people that are like real huggy, it must be their love language. There's quality time. It's like, oh yeah, my aunt's like that. Okay. Then I stumbled upon acts of service. Like, oh yeah, I love acts of service. Like that's what I like, right? Don't just talk about it, like do it. And then I saw gifts. And I read the entire chapter and I realized this whole time my mom was just trying to show me love when she was giving me these little gifts. And I went to the next one, which was words of affirmation. And I started thinking about my mom. She keeps cards for 15 years until she loses them or they get destroyed. I'll send her a text message. She'll have text messages from like 3 years ago. I was like, oh, she probably gives gifts and likes to receive words of affirmation. That's fantastic. So I figured out how to best utilize my mom. When I was in law school, I would come down and I would teach her law. Hey Mom, guess what we're doing today? We're doing contracts law. Right? It's offer, acceptance, consideration, that's a contract. My mom's pretty smart, she could pick it up. And if I could teach her, then I could figure it out on the exam. So last weekend, I brought my mom into town, and we did the things that you probably think we would do. We had cupcakes with flowers on them, and we went to the mall, and we passed the Lego section, and she got super excited, like, hey, can we go see the Lego? Yeah, Mom, we can go see the Legos. Big dragon, green and red dragon going in and out of the ceiling. And the last thing we did is we went to the Green Mill, and we heard some poetry. So the host's up, and he calls, coming to the stage for the second time, Erik Diggs. And my mom's surprised. I get up on stage, and I deliver the second poem that I've ever written in my entire life. And there's something just really comforting about being around my mom. You know, her childish kind of energy makes you feel like a child when you didn't care about what people would say or if they would like what you did. You just did it. And I'm looking over at my mom, and as I'm giving this poem, we're having this like intimate moment where I get her. We're speaking the same language again. I figured out her love language. Thank you.